Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Sports and welcome back to the Bayou Breakdown. We're joined, as always, by Jack Tiernan. Jack, I almost feel like I don't have to ask, but I will. How you doing?
That's fair. I was on the cliff, Brian. We're off the cliff. The Saints are somehow the top of the division, so I'm living life, man. It's good times here.
Yes, 310 yards out of Derek Carr can turn things around quickly.
Sure can.
Uh, after we didn't get to cover last week was busy and tumultuous outside of here, so I apologize for not doing any content on this channel last week, not even one short or
Not
anything,
even
but
real.
we're back. We're here now. Yeah, last week, disappointing loss to the Jaguars, but Jaguars are a very good team, it seems, this year. And they beat the Colts. They're 4-4, 500. Are they atop the NFC South? I think
Technically
they
tied with
are.
the Falcons. Yeah,
Okay. And who knows what's happening with the Falcons because Lee benched
they
their
don't.
starter
Yeah,
in their game. They got Taylor Heineke, who's fun but not
that's
really a
about it.
long term. Yeah, they got issues not giving their playmakers the ball, but that's not the issues the Saints have. I feel they get their playmakers the ball great. It seems.
The big playmakers, Rashid Shaheed, right? He and Alvin Kamara. I feel like if you're talking big play, those are your guys, right? Maybe throw Taysom
Definitely,
Hill on that list. I love.
I would 2 touchdowns
Yeah,
this week. Pretty good.
he does everything. He does everything. There was a quote, and I don't mean to jump in, but there was a quote from it might have been Dennis Allen, but somebody recently said like, how many times do you have a tight end that can also play quarterback, or a tight end that can also play running back, or a quarterback that can
Yeah.
play tight end? And it's like that's a good point. You have to use him, uh,
Mhm.
at least partially effectively for him to be
Yeah,
valuable, and he
44
was he was
yards
used.
passing,
Yeah,
63 rushing, 2 touchdowns.
crazy.
Receiving, he had a catch, 1 for 14. So, like, getting it
Yeah,
done everywhere.
for sure, which is awesome. Love
Mhm.
Taysom. Love Taysom. I mean, you love
Yes.
to hate Taysom also. He's like a little bit of both.
I love him in this role. I
I
hated
do too.
when Sean Payton was persistent that he was a
He's a
quarterback
quarterback.
and going to be
Same.
the quarterback of the future because I think we both looked at it and it was just like he's not
No,
an everyday, every game quarterback.
no, he's not. He wasn't. And he never. I don't want to say he never will be, but
Mhm.
he never will
Uh,
be. You know,
I'll
I
say
think
it. He's
I.
not going, and that's fine. He's
That's
really
okay.
good in the role that he's
He
in.
is. Yes, I enjoy seeing him do what he does in his current role, and I think that's all we
Yes.
can ask for, right? Any team would be lucky to have a Taysom Hill on their team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we also get Jamal Williams back. How's that?
Yeah, he cut his hair, kind of crazy. Didn't even recognize him at
Oh
first. I
wow.
was like,
Okay.
"Who is this dude with short hair? Williams?" I'm like, "Oh, Jamal. All right, right." I forgot we had Jamal. If I'm being totally honest, because he hurt his hamstring, and I was like, "Oh, I'm on the Kendre Miller hype train." Then
Yep.
Alvin Kamara came back, and I'm like, "Yeah, well, like I'm set. We're good. Running back room, good to go." Uh, we had oh god, he played for us for a week, and he put together Tony Jones. He put together a solid week, and
That
then he was never heard
that
from
is
again.
a randomly generated Madden name if
It
I
is.
ever heard one. Tony Jones.
He's like the practice squad pass around on the transaction
Mhm,
wire in like Madden
mhm.
2015, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right, Tony Jones, and then
Mhm.
that's he went to Denver, and I just don't think he's on a team current. I don't know, man, but
Who
uh,
was that guy last year who played for the Saints in that
oh my
London
boy
game?
Latavius Murray,
Yeah, Davis Murray
love
came in, had like
love
100
Latavius,
yards, and then went on the practice squad and got sniped back to
signed by the
another
Bills,
team.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yep, and he or Ravens, it was one of the two. Either way,
Mhm.
he I think he's Bills now. It was Ravens last year. He
Right.
was solid like 3 years back for us as a fill-in for AK, which was
Mhm.
sick. He was before we got Mark Ingram back, I believe it was. And then
Yep.
that's when I was like, oh, dude, I'm on the Latavius train. Like, big,
Yeah.
big fan. And now he's just like an old running back who like doesn't know when to quit type of thing. And that's where we're at.
Hey, you gotta grind it out at that
Hey,
position,
respect. Yeah. Still love him.
honestly.
Still love him. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah. Big Latavius fan.
And Mark Ingram, on college, whatever, not game day, but whatever. I think it's like big noon kickoff on Fox
He
with
does
Matt
some
Leinart.
calls. He's
Yeah,
good. I like him.
yeah, he's great. Yeah, I really like him. I saw they were at Kansas this week, and he hit
Oh,
a
yeah.
half court shot on their social media.
Mark
So
Ingram?
yeah, very
Still
good.
got
Still
it,
got
man.
it. Yep.
That's right. Still got it.
So What would you say like the biggest story player from this game would be? Give me a shout out right now. Who you highlighting?
If I'm highlighting anybody, it's got to be Shaheed, right? The dude has 153. He's averaging 153 yards, right? He's
Mm,
averaging 51 yards per catch. That's stupid. That is dumb. I like that. There's no other way to put that. You can't
mm,
do that and not get a highlight or a shout out, right? The man's was
mm,
unstoppable. This is what we signed him for, though, right? He's an undrafted guy who's doing the thing that Deontay Hardy couldn't do last year, which is be
mm.
pivotal on offense and not just kick returns. And he's done it. He's got crazy speed. He runs those wheel routes. He can run downfield, and he's got so much separation from other dudes. It's crazy. I big Shaheed guy. Can't wait to see him continue to do that the rest of the year.
Yeah, and also very interesting number 22. Like every time I watch the Saints, I'm like, is that a
Yeah.
running back? Oh wait, no, it's Rashid
You're like, oh
Shaheed.
yeah.
So I
He was
need to put some
89
more
last
respect
year.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I remember, he had a conventional number, but
Yeah.
hey, I like it. I'm all for the weird
I'm a
numbers at
fan.
different positions.
Me too. It's that's weird. And then sometimes you see other numbers and you're like, was that a linebacker? Like, was that linebacker number 5? Or like, what did I just
Right. Yeah.
see? That was strange. Like, I'm trying to think of his name, but I think he was with us last year. Oh, Quan Alexander was at
Mm,
number 5 last year on the Saints, and I was like, who the what? Are you a quarterback? But yeah, same thing. 22, still Shaheed, sick. Just love him to death. I definitely our best receiver last game, hands down.
mm. Yeah. Then Michael Thomas, he also played pretty well.
He did 4 receptions for 68 yards. That's fine. That's I don't
Yeah.
want to say that's like bad, but it's solid.
Listen, after all the injuries, you can't expect him to be the Michael Thomas of old. He's not going to
No,
have. What do you have like 155 receptions in a season or some like
some
ridiculous number?
it was some. He has the all-time record. I know that. I don't remember what the record was. He does. I know he has it. I'm gonna search it right now just so I can
Mhm.
get that number out here. But
So
yeah, he was just a target monster. He really was.
yeah. So I mean, those days probably behind him. That's fine.
Yeah.
But as long as you can get, solid, consistent, no more injuries performance from him, I think we'll take that.
Yeah, I think that's a win. I think it was 149, by the way, is what it was in 2019, where he also
149.
won Offensive
That's
Player of the Year, which is crazy.
that's
One more, man.
so
One more.
ridiculous.
No, that still is crazy. A 100 catch season is like, yeah, awesome, like great work.
Yeah,
That's
it's
sick.
really great.
And that was before they had the extra game too, which is even
Mm,
crazier to think about. So like that record could be broken eventually, but like right
sure.
now
Yeah.
it technically it could be
Yeah.
broken. But I mean, to be honest, when I saw Puka Nakua's numbers earlier this year, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna do it. But
Well,
it was like
luckily,
15 for 20. But yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy like that.
luckily Cooper Cup came back and
Yeah, yeah.
took a lot of those away.
Thank
So
you,
we'll
Cooper.
we'll see.
Appreciate you.
We're 8 weeks in, halfway through the season now. How well, I mean, arbitrarily, we have that extra game that screws everything up. It used to be so
Yeah,
nice.
we're
Eight
like
was
half
halfway.
ish. Yeah,
How are we feeling about the Derek Carr experiment here in New Orleans? It's been up and down, it seems.
yeah. Um, I think I bitched about it 2 weeks ago and was like, it's a used car type of thing, like that type of pun, which is cringy but accurate. And I think that I don't know how to feel. I don't want to say jury's out, but it still is for me because I look at last game and you started us off this week and said, yeah, 310 yards passing, right? 2 tutties. Cool to see, but I don't know if no picks, I guess, is important. Almost half of that came from deep bombs to Shaheed, which are not always catchable bombs. Um, that would put him at like 100 and almost 160 yards on the day otherwise. I don't know. I feel like that's discrediting him a little bit, but even still, like I don't think that's a great showing otherwise. I feel like against a pretty porous pass defense in the Indianapolis Colts who are losing some people in their secondary, I feel like that was still a middling performance. He might have looked a lot better because he made those deep bombs, but I I don't know. I mean, is he better than anybody else that was on the market? Probably not. Would I rather him than Deshaun Watson? Absolutely, for multiple reasons. I think he's fine. I think if Pete Carmichael can learn how to call a fucking offense, then this would be a solid team, is what it comes down to. But I feel like Derek Carr is actually doing fine. I think that as a player, I think he's doing fine. I think what he needs to figure out is how to handle criticism and handle difficult situations appropriately or just better in general, right? Because you see him getting visibly frustrated. You see him yelling at Chris Olave when he's not finishing routes. But maybe that's because you're being a bitch to him in practice, Derek. I don't know. Like I'm not in that inner workings, scenario right now. But for me, as a player, I think he's fine. I think he needs to be better at motivating people through his actions, and that's going to help the team get better. And also, Pete Carmichael sucks. That's where I'm at.
Oh man. So I guess
Lots to unpack there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I appreciate it, and lots of memes about reckless driving because Derek Carr is your
dude. Oh my god.
quarterback this last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, not
Chris
that
Olave
funny.
hates
Someone did
cars. He
die.
hates cars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
true.
years ago after Henry Ruggs
Yeah,
crashed.
right.
Yeah, Whew. Anyway,
I just pulled that together.
but the
Okay,
common
wow.
denominator. Yeah.
Yikes. Awkward.
Uh, yeah,
Jimmy
but Chris
Graham too,
Olave.
actually.
Yeah, right. Anyways, anything else on this one before we get on out of here?
Chris Olave looked kind of like poop, I think.
Mm,
5 catches for I think it was like 46 yards. I don't like what he's been doing this year. I thought he would take a giant step forward, and it feels like he's being inhibited by the emergence of Shaheed and the re-emergence of Michael Thomas. Which I guess it is what it is, but I expected more out of Olave, and I think his general demeanor is discouraging on a couple levels. I said it before the driving incident, but now I'm like, oh God, like where are we going with this? Where is this? This
yeah,
doesn't look like it's going to be a happy ending for him or the team. So a little worried about him, but
something to keep an eye on.
absolutely. I made the joke earlier to you about how the ankle bracelet was probably weighing him down. I think
Yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, tough,
Um,
tough, tough couple of weeks here for
Tough
him,
couple of weeks for Chris
especially
Olave.
with that
Yeah,
video coming out where he's like, "I play for the
I
Saints,"
play
and
for
the
the
cop was
Saints, and the
like,
officer's like,
"So,
sick. Yeah,
yeah,
he's like, okay,
oof, all
get in my
right,
car.
yeah."
Yeah, you know,
It's
it's
terrible to play the card, but playing the card and having it fall flat is
and having it
so much
ineffective
worse.
is
Yeah,
way funnier for everybody else. But
yeah.
like for me, I'm like, I hope that was a wake up call for him,
It's like
because
the
he's
Saints
getting
are 3 and
blasted.
4, so at that point,
Yeah, he's
so
like sick. Yeah, okay, yeah, and you're below the Bucks right now, and
Mhm,
they don't
mhm,
even like Baker doesn't know which way is up. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Olave needs to figure it out. Maybe that's a car issue. Maybe it's just no chemistry. I don't know what's going on with that, but
yeah.
um, I
We'll
benched him in
see.
fantasy. That's where I'm at. So it's not great.
Yeah,
Not great times for Chris Olave.
no. All right, Jack, can you give us some places for them to follow you online?
Definitely. Best place to follow me is probably on Twitter or X, and that's at Jack_Tiernan. So follow me there for just general sports content, baseball, we're in the World Series, cool stuff, and obviously the Saints going forward. And Celtics season, we're back, maybe. I'll bet I
We're
love live
back.
tweeting Celtics games, so you'll see me on there doing that especially. You can
Yeah.
also follow me on Instagram at Jack Disc Golf, so follow me there. I'll have disc golf content. Just playing a tournament this weekend, have another one coming up.
Oh, very nice. How'd that go?
I played terribly and came in fifth out of like 15, so I'm like, I can live with that. That's fine,
Hey,
but we'll
listen,
survive.
that's the top third. So,
That's true. That's true. I'm an upper 33 percenter. You're right.
and if
I
you
should I
follow
should look at
him,
that.
he'll probably get even higher. So,
That's
give
true.
him the
I
confidence by giving him the
I've
follow.
fueled off of all of your validation.
Exactly. And yes, new look Celtics been very exciting so far. I've been enjoying it. Beat the Heat, so always
Always a
love
fan.
that. And we'll be covering them soon. We just gotta coordinate with Ryan on when we
That's right.
are covering them. But I expect videos on that on this channel. Other than that, you can follow me on Twitter at the fake BMR. BMARR channel is on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport. It's Instagram Wicked Good Sports. We have our podcasting channel, Better Radio, and our main channel, Wicked Good Everything. Jack, thank you so much for your time.
Of course, Brian. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you all in the next one.